Welcome to Crochet Along with Miss Carol. This is our January 2023 edition, and today I am going to show you how to crochet a mug cozy with a little heart pattern in it. You can see that the one that I did for my pattern or my sample is all done in the color pink. I am going to be using two different colors. I have a little off-white and just a little bit of pink, so that my hearts in the middle are going to be a little different, will be a different color than the rest of it. I have it in the instructions. The only difference in the pattern, if you want to make it the solid color, is just don't change yarn. And if you do, you change yarn at the beginning of your heart pattern row. This pattern is simple. It's only 5 rows and a simple single crochet border around the outside of the whole thing. I have the two different colored yarns. I'm going to put my starting yarn or my main color yarn in my basket so it doesn't roll away from me. I'm using a 5.5 or an I sized hook today. My H hook is busy in another project, so I'm using I put down here in the pattern, which you can find on our website under Programs, Youth Handouts. I put down to use an H, but it doesn't matter as long as you just check and make sure that your cozy is the right size to fit your cup. You're good to go. I have my needle and my scissors. Always the things that I keep handy. I have some markers here on the side of my basket, but I don't think I'll be needing those today. So the first thing we're going to learn today is a new way to do your foundation. For all the other projects we have done on Crochet Along with Miss Carol, we have, if it required a foundation row, if it was done long ways, row by row instead of in the round, we have crocheted a long chain and then gone back and crocheted your first row into that chain. Today we're going to do a foundation stitch, which means that we're going to crochet our chain and our stitch in the same step. So the first thing I want to do is do my slip stitch, put it on my hook, and I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to skip the first 3 chains. That is going to become the first stitch in my row. And I'm going to yarn over like I would double crochet. I'm going to insert my hook. Oops, my hands are here outside of the thing. Let me adjust my camera a little. There, now you can see see my hands instead of my face. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to insert my hook in the very first chain. That's the 4th chain from the hook, the very first chain you made. Yarn over and pull through. So it looks like I'm making a double crochet. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through just that first loop. Now I have a chain made and I still have 3 loops on my hook, so I'll yarn over again and do a double crochet. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and I'm back to 1 loop on my hook. Now I'm going to do that again. I'm going to yarn over, and then this is where it gets tricky. You want to make sure that when you are reinserting, you're inserting into that chain, not the double crochet. So I'm inserting into the chain, going to pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull up through just that first loop, which gives me another chain, and then I do my double crochet, and I do it again. There's my 3 loops, make my chain, and then my double crochet. And I gotta look at my pattern because I need to know how many I need to do. My foundation stitch, I'm going to do 32. That includes that first one that I did that was the my turning chain basically. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 done. I'm going to keep going. Here I go into the chain. Do chain, double crochet. Yarn over, insert, pull up, chain, double crochet. I'm not doing a very good job of keeping count here. See, I didn't go right in, so I wanted to go back and try that again. There we go. I don't want to split my yarn. It doesn't make that big a difference, but it just makes it look a little messy. All right. All right, I have not been doing a good job of keeping count. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to count my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I said I wasn't going to need my markers. Well, that's why I always keep them handy. I'm going to go ahead and put a marker in that 10th stitch. And that way I don't have to count these 10 again. I just know that marker is 10 stitches. And I have 10, 11, 12, 13. So I want to do 7 more and put another marker in. Oops. Sometimes get a little carried away there. There we go. Mistakes are very easily remedied when you're crocheting. All right, let's count again. Okay, so this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. One more will give me to 20. And then I'm not done. I'm just going to put in another marker. I have them well secured so that they don't go falling off. I'm going to put in another marker so I know that's 20 and I need to do 12 more. All right, so 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. $29. 30, 31, and 32. And there, it's out of the picture. I'm taking my markers out so that I can show you the whole thing. There is my first row of double crochet. I did my chain and my double crochet all at the same time. Now my second row I'm going to do in the same color, and I need to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and oh, you know what, I wasn't going to do that. I'm not going to do a turning chain on this. I'm going to turn it, and we've learned this before, to do that alternative double crochet to start a row with, so we don't have that chain 3 spot. So I'm going to insert into the end and pull it up, just a single crochet, and then I'm going to insert in my hook in the middle of that first single. Oh, come on, there we go, and pull it up and do another single. So I basically stacked 2 singles on top of each other instead of doing a turning chain. And then I'm going to double crochet across, and this is the same as we've done before. Just go right on across here. All right, almost there. Okay, a few more stitches here. I know I usually go away, but this is so few rows that I'm just going to go ahead and do this while we're on camera. I'm getting to the end. Now I don't want to forget that turning chain at the beginning of my foundation is an actual, I'm counting as a stitch, so I do want to stitch into it. There we go. Now, oops, and I didn't want to finish that off. What I want to do is leave it there, and I'm going to pull my pink out, and I'm going to attach my pink I don't want to leave too long a tail. I'm going to attach my pink by bringing it through that last yarn over and pull through, and I'm ready to start my next stitch. So I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to do another foundation, another alternate double crochet in my pink this time, and I'm going to cut my tail here so I can weave that in later. Move my white out of my way. Now I'm going to do a chain because I want to skip a stitch. I'm going to yarn over. Now I'm going to do those heart, I called it a heart shaped puff stitch. So I'm yarning over, I'm going to skip a double crochet, and I'm going to insert my hook in the next double crochet. I'm going to pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and do the same thing. Insert again and pull up another one. Now I have 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to do it a 3rd time. So now I have 7, and I'm going to do it a 4th time. So I have 9 loops on my hook, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 9 loops. And this takes a little finesse to get it through there without getting caught on any of those loops in there. But it just takes a little practice and you'll do it. Now I'm going to chain to make a little spot between, and I'm going to do that same puff stitch again in the same stitch. So yarn over and pull up so that I have 3. Yarn over, pull up, I have 5. Yarn over, pull up, I have 7. Yarn over and pull up, I have 9. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull through. And see, it's getting a little fussy, but that's all right. It just takes some being slow and fiddly with it. Come on, you can come through. Part of my problem is I'm using a very soft pink yarn, and it splits really easily when it's on the inside of that. But I just fiddled with it, and it came through okay. I'm going to do a chain stitch again. And I want to skip 3 double crochet now. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do my next heart in the 4th stitch from my first, so that there's 3 empty stitches between my hearts. So there I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you get confused and not sure, to make sure to have 9 loops on your hook. And then I'm going to pull through all 9 loops, and I do that just quickly and do it again in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And a chain. We're going to skip 1, 2, 3 and do another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure I haven't split my yarn there. I've got to. Chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would suggest using a yarn that is a good sturdy yarn, not a real soft one like this pink that I'm using. It makes it a little more difficult. But 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to do this all the way across. But because I'm skipping those stitches, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hearts. I have 3 more to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and I see that one, it got all tangled up with itself. So I'm going to pull out and try that puff one again. And I got a little bit of that white yarn in the middle here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now I have 7 hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to skip 3. I'm not going to make another heart this close to the edge. I'm going to do a double crochet to anchor my end there. And then I will double crochet in that last, but I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to leave those last 2 loops so that I can switch back to my main color yarn. If you need a refresher on how to switch colors, remember that we learned that skill when we were doing the striped tote that we did back in June of 2022. So you can look at the printed pattern where I explain how to do it, or watch the video if you need a refresher on changing colors. I'm going to pull my white up through there and turn this around and just go ahead and do my single crochet there and stack my next one on top of it. Very good. And then I'm going to do double crochet. Now I'm going to snip this pink yarn so I'm not attached there anymore. I'll weave those in, but we're going to stitch in each stitch across. We're going to do a double crochet in each stitch all the way across. So I did it in the top of, I did it in the chain I did, and then this is the top of my puff stitch, and then in the next chain, and then the next puff stitch. And there we go. All the way across, just like that. And you should have 32 stitches. Right, so then I'm going to do that last chain and then into that alternate double crochet at the beginning. And I'm using the same color, so I'm just going to turn it and do my alternate double crochet. And I have one more row to do to finish this off. This I'm not going to ask you to sit through. I'm going to do my last 32 stitches the other way around, and then we'll come back together and do the single crochet border around the outside. I have finished that last row, so I have 2 rows of double crochet, 1 row with that heart stitch, and another 2 rows of double crochet. When I alternate that color, I put that contrast color in those hearts, it really makes them stand out and pop and look a little more like hearts than they did on my first try at it here. Although I like both ways. So you do it whichever way you prefer. Now I'm going to do a single crochet around the outside just to even all the edges up. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and I'm going to single crochet all the way across that last row that I did. All the way across. And I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine. I am a part of a group on social media called I Love Crochet. And I wrote up my pattern for this. And I sent out a message. I said, would anybody like to test this? And I had somebody, I don't have permission to use her name, so I won't mention her by name, but she came back and said, I'll test it for you. So I sent her the pattern. And she tested it in the solid color like I have done here with the first one I did. And then she came back to me and she said, I think it'd look good in 2 colors. And she did one in 2 colors and showed it to me, and I thought she was absolutely right. And so that's how I came up with the idea of adding the different color. So thank you very much for that. And I will send her a thank you and a link to the video when I get a chance. So 1, I'm in the corner, so we do 2 when we're doing a border around a rectangle. We always want to do, or a square, we always want to do 3 in the corners to make that corner. Now this is double crochet, so I'm going to do 2 in each of those double crochets. 2 in that. This also is double crochet, so I'm going to do 2 on the double crochet there on that pink row. And I'm going to crochet right over those yarns, 2 double crochets in each, the end of each row. And then we're down here, we're at the beginning of our next row, so I want to go in here and do, did I say 2 double crochet? I meant 2 single crochet. And do 3 single crochet in that corner to get us around the corner. And I'm just crocheting right over those ends. And I'm going to continue down this. I can just crochet right into that foundation stitches I did, just as if they were chains. And I think those are all tucked in there well enough. I'm going to get rid of those so they're not in my way anymore. Be careful not to snip the yarn that I'm working with. That would be a frustration. right, here we come. All right, I'm entering this last corner, so I'm going to do 3 single crochet to get around the corner. And 2 single crochet in each of the double crochets, including the pink one. Oh, how did I do that? I missed doing some single crochets there. All right. All right, I missed that first row. It snuck past me. So there's my third one in the corner. There's 2 for that row, 2 for that row, 2 in my pink row. I want to pull those tight. And I'm going to go ahead and carry those through. Two in there. That's tight. Now I'm back at my first corner, and I started with a single crochet in that corner. So I'm going to add 2 more, which will make a total of 3 single crochets in that first corner. And then I'm going to connect to that first one with a slip stitch and finish it off. I've got my yarn noodle here. I have a few ends I need to tuck in. When I'm done with that, I am going to sew a couple of, you'll see I used some little white ones on this one. Use whatever color. I didn't bring any in with me. I'm going to have to go through my button box and find the ones I want to use, and then just use a sewing needle and some sewing thread and throw those buttons on there. And just use the openings in your crochet for your buttonholes. You don't need to make any special buttonhole for this. I hope you enjoy this. This makes a great gift for a teacher that likes coffee or tea or hot cocoa, or anybody that you want to give a gift to help keep their mug warm. Have a great time. We'll see you next time.